Speaking of, I don't want to watch that game. Houston is visiting Dallas. The battle for Texas has the largest spread of the year. Dallas is an 18-point favorite, 44.5 the total. But Brad, there's huge news. Kyle Allen got kicked out of family Christmas, and that means that Davis Mills is going to start again at quarterback for a Houston franchise that is basically a giant shrug emoji at this point. We have no idea week to week what we're going to get other than the fact that they're going to be pretty bad. How bad in what phase? Who knows? It could be any phase of the game. And Dallas right now is playing as well as it has all year. Now, don't be totally misled by that score last week against Indianapolis. That was a lot of turnover and defensive adjustment in the fourth quarter for a game that was a one-score game against Indianapolis coming in. However, Dallas overall is playing as well as it has all season. But, Brad, are they playing 18 points better than the Houston Texans?
No, I had a tickle of the Texans at plus 18. And there's three reasons, I think. One, Davis Mills, clear upgrade over Kyle Allen. They threw Allen in there just, right, we're losing every game. Let's just try something. Let's see what we've got. And he was awful. he was much, much worse than Davis Mills. So immediate upgrade there, bang. Two, the look ahead was plus 14.5 here. Obviously, the Texans failed to cover. Dallas won by 40. But as you say, Kevin Cole, formerly of PFF, he does adjusted scores based on success rate, stuff like that. And he had Dallas winning that game by 9. So it was turnover fueled. It was, all that stuff. So if that's inflated this by 3.5 points, that's probably wrong. And the same on the Texans side. They lost by whatever, they lost by 20, but 3 DST touchdowns in there. That's going to be fluky as well. So, and then the last thing is just that Houston, the way they want to play the game is to run the ball, and that is the only way really to attack the Dallas defense. You don't want to drop back and pass. So, can I see a game like the Eagles where they run the ball 35 times for 160 yards? Possibly, and every single 30-second run that takes 30 seconds off the board, that is great for us with 18 points in our back pocket. I just think it's been a little bit inflated by recent results, and it's worth getting them on side.
I am not as confident in the Houston Texans' ability to run the football at least as well as they did early in the season. My EPA sort right now is from week 8 to week 13. And I have garbage time filtered out, and they had to adjust the way the grid is done to fit in the Texans in the bottom left corner of rush EPA per play and drop back EPA per play. It has been that bad, guys, over the time period that I mentioned. However, Steven, I was sitting there last week with a small piece of Colts plus 11.5, and for 3 quarters, I felt really good about it. And then in the fourth quarter, roughly 6 minutes to go, I moved on to the rest of my Sunday evening. Do you also, sir, have a tickle of the Texans?
No, of course.
What? You've been Mr. Texans all year long.
Yeah, but that's before I figured out how bad they were.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that does change it. Yeah.
I mean, listen, good lines make for good action, right, on both sides, and I think we found one here because this is the NFL, and that is a ton of points, but the market came in when Davis Mills was announced as the starter. They reopened it under 17, and then it didn't take long for everybody to be like, we don't care, it's Davis Mills. They were still 30th in success rate, 31st in EPA when he was the starter week 1 through 11. So, Brad, I respect the hell out of your opinion on basically any game you ever talk about. But at this point, I wouldn't bet on the Texans with your money, my friend. I'm good. I'm out. I will sit this one out. I'm not saying it's the wrong side. I'm just saying I don't have any interest in putting money on this XFL team that's being trotted out there every week.
You said that's the point, Brad?
Yeah,
is that the point?
Yeah, that is the point. No one's betting the Texans. Like, everyone's burnt. They've literally set money on fire all year long betting the Texans. So we're getting a couple of extra points.
There is.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some people like to hold their nose and bet the stinky cheese, and this is one Limburger too far for me.